So, you made it to the upper yard, and you still suck at parrying. No worries. This video will go over all the endgame creatures to help guide you. It can be difficult going against these creatures with tier 2 armor. The only way to get that sweet tier 3 gear is by parrying. But it'll take a lot of practice and a lot of this. However, if you learn to parry, you'll end up with this. So let's get into it. Antlions. Antlions have 2 attack patterns. Now the first attack pattern I'm going to go over is a very simple one. This is where they lean back, open up their jaws, make this sound, and then lunge forward at you. Now there's a quick pause before they lunge at you, so make sure you time it correctly. The second attack is a little bit shorter. Now they'll lean to the side and then they'll lunge at you. This is a good indicator when they lean to the side, so just keep an eye out for it. Now the big antlions, the ones that are in the ditches, they also have 2 attack patterns. Well, 2 that you can parry. The first one is when it goes deep underground, opens up its jaws, and then comes at you. This one takes a little bit longer for it to kind of spring back, to kind of spring forward. So you need patience, and this is key. The second attack pattern is where they're thrashing. Now this attack pattern is a 3-hit combo. It'll swing its head up to the right, pause, and then swing down and start thrashing. But it's not as quick as you think, so make sure you time it correctly, as each thrash will hit with a little pause in between, giving you time to parry. Termites. So the termite workers and the termite soldiers all have the same attack pattern, and they're similar to the ant attack patterns. Simple enough, they will lean backwards, open up their pincers, make a certain sound, and then they'll lunge forward. Now if it's a shorter sound, it means it's going to be a 3-hit combo. But don't worry, this combo can be interrupted. So if you listen out for it and you know what kind of attack it's going to be, and you miss that first parry, don't worry, you can always parry the second one or the third one. Dust mites. Now dust mites and ticks and lawn mites all have the same attack pattern. However, dust mites, they throw little balls of dust at you, which will slow you down. If you have the termite armor, this can counter the dust effect. But if you're new to this, then try to dodge it as quickly as possible, unless you're surrounded by them, which can make it difficult. So I suggest you just bite the bullet. So they only have 1 attack pattern. It's basically where they jump up and then come down at you. This one's super easy to parry. Honestly, the easiest way to master Parry Master is by going against lawn mites. They're super easy to parry, and you can time it correctly and perfectly. Roly Polies. Now, I went against this my first time when I was doing my single player sesh. Roly Polies will bulldoze over you if you do not time your parries correctly, and it can be a 1-hit KO if you don't. They have 3 attack patterns. The first attack pattern will be a headbutt. They'll sort of lean back and then lunge forward pretty quickly. The second attack pattern is where they wind themselves up to the side, pause, and then they'll thrash at you. And the third attack pattern is where they'll jump up into the air, roll into a ball, and then come smashing down. So just watch for that move. Always make sure you're ready to block, just in case. Sometimes it'll jump up and ball up, but not to hit you, it'll use it to heal. So just keep an eye on it and keep swinging away to prevent it from healing. Ladybirds. Ladybirds have 5 attack patterns, which sounds a lot, but I promise you it isn't. They are very similar to the ladybugs, which ladybugs only have 3 attack patterns. If you haven't seen my beginner's guide to parrying, I suggest you go watch it. So I'm going to cover the last 2 attack patterns that aren't covered with the ladybugs. The first attack pattern is where they're going to lean all the way back to where you can actually see its belly, and then it's going to slam down and body slam you. The second attack pattern is the same thing. It'll look the same, but it'll do it twice. So it'll come up, slam down, then come up and slam down again. There is a little bit of a pause in between, so just be prepared. The Black Ox Beetles. The Black Ox Beetles have 4 attack patterns that you can parry. There's one attack that you can't really parry unless you have a shield, and it's where it digs up from the ground and throws a boulder at you. If you have a shield, this is parryable. Parryable? Is that a word? I'm gonna make it a word. So if you don't have a shield, you're gonna be looking out for 4 attacks that you can parry. The first attack pattern. This is where it's gonna start charging at you. You'll definitely identify it once it starts winding itself up. Another big tip, just like the Ladybirds, give yourself some space. The second attack pattern is where they're just gonna straight headbutt you. This might be a little difficult to identify, but if you keep your distance, you'll be perfectly fine. This is a quick movement, so just be on your toes. The third attack pattern is going to be one where it thrashes its head. It is a 3-hit combo and it cannot be interrupted, so just keep an eye out for it. And the fourth attack pattern. Now this attack pattern can look similar to the pattern I just talked about, but what it'll do is that it'll actually swing its whole body 180 degrees. Now, onto the green shield bug. The green shield bug actually is the same as the stink bugs, as you would imagine. It only has 2 attack patterns. The first attack pattern is when they jump at you. It's quite explosive, so just be on the lookout. It'll mostly do this if there's quite a bit of distance in between you and it. The second attack pattern is where it's going to lean to the side, make a noise, and then come down and bite you. So we're gonna get into the wasps. Now the wasps are definitely the newest creature, so it took a while for me to actually identify these attack patterns, but I found that they only have 1. At least that's what I came across. So there's only 1 attack pattern that you can parry. The other attack is something that you just have to dodge, which is where they spit their venom at you. So the attack pattern that you can parry is very simple. Now they don't have a 3-hit combo, at least not from what I've found, like the bees. So this would be a lot easier. Now it'll come at you with their stinger out in front, similar to the bees, but it's quicker. So just make sure that you're within the line of sight of the wasps. The Termite King. Now I know the Termite King is considered as a boss, but I don't, just because it's actually quite weak compared to, well, let's say a Black Widow. And considering the fact that the Termite King is identified as a creature card as only a tier 3 creature. So I'm including the Termite King in this one. Very similar to the termites, he only has 2 attack patterns. Now they're going to be the same attack patterns as the termites, so I would use that ahead. Now he's larger, so you actually be able to see his attack patterns. If it's a long sound, where he leans back, opens his pincers, there's a pause, and then it'll leap forward to attack you. Now this one took a little bit of time for me to actually parry it because it seems like it actually happens quicker than you really think. The second attack pattern is where it's a shorter sound, and it'll go straight for the hit. It's a very quick movement, so just make sure you're listening out. Now the infected wolf spider is only unlocked when you plug the haze, if you didn't already know. The infected wolf spider only has 4 attack patterns. There's 2 that are similar, but I'm only going to put in 4, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. So what you need to know about the infected wolf spider is that it's going to be the exact same as a regular wolf spider, except it's going to be quicker. So I would recommend practicing on regular wolf spiders if you haven't already. If you're able to get it, then you'll be able to take on the infected wolf spider no problem. The first attack pattern. This is where it's going to lean back, make its little pose, and then lunge forward for the attack. This one's easy to identify, so just make sure you hit that. The second attack pattern is where it's going to lean it to the side and then it's going to attack you once. This is also easy to identify. The third attack pattern is where it's going to jump up just like a wolf spider and then slam down at you. And the fourth attack pattern is going to be a 5-hit combo, but it's swift. So just make sure that you hit that first parry and spam your block. So he'll have 2 types of 5-hit combos. There's one that is just the 5-hit combo, and then he'll hit, and then there's a possibility he'll hit you with the 5-hit combo with explosions. So just keep an eye out for that. There's not much that you can do about the explosion, so you're either gonna have to bite the bullet or you're gonna have to run the other way. There's no way you can avoid it. The Moth. Oh, the Moth. It is the cutest little thing. But believe it or not, it's actually quite easy to kill. Now, the Moth has multiple attacks, but it's mostly to keep you at bay. It has one attack pattern, and it's going to be where it flies towards you. Similar to the bees, it's really easy to identify. So just be patient, as it'll take its sweet time coming at you. It'll be really easy for you to block it, so just keep an eye out. And finally, if you guys made it this long, we're going to cover the Black Widow. The Black Widow is going to have the same attack patterns as a wolf spider, except for two things. One, it is quick. I mean, it is quick. It's going to be the quickest movements you're going to see. I mean, until you face the new infected broodmother. God, this is going to be the swiftest attacks until you get there, so pay attention. The second thing that's an exception, and one thing that I am personally happy about, it does not jump up to attack you. So you don't have to worry about this attack pattern. The Black Widow only has 3 attack patterns. One, where it leans backwards, makes its little pose, and then leaps forward to attack you. There is a pause, so as long as you've been practicing with the wolf spiders, you'll be perfectly fine. The second one is going to be the same thing. It's going to lean to the side and it's going to hit you once. These two are only 1-hit combos. And the third attack pattern is going to be a 5-hit combo, but like I said, it is quick. So make sure you're just spamming your block. But don't get overzealous because she's going to pause right before she hits you with that 5th hit, which that 5th hit is going to be the hardest. And that's pretty much everything that I have to cover. I'm so glad that you guys ended up watching this. If you found this helpful, please leave a like. Or you want to join me on my adventures, come on by and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!